Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for the latest news and information from the city of Greensboro. The Greensboro Zoning Commission has been ordered by a Superior Court judge to issue a special use permit to the owners of the historic Julian Price House to operate the residence as a bed and breakfast. The ruling overturned the Commission's May 20th permit denial, which then resulted in the homeowners filing an appeal in Superior Court. In reversing the Commission's decision, Judge Eric Morgan concluded there was no competent or material evidence as to why the property owner's request for the special use permit did not meet requirements. According to Deputy City Attorney Terry Jones, the Zoning Commission complied with the judge's order and took official action to approve the special use permit at its meeting on Monday, November 18th. The permit approval will include the following conditions. The property owner shall maintain guest records in compliance with Greensboro's Code of Ordinances, Section 1311, and make those records available to the city's zoning administrator upon request. Required parking for the use shall be located on site, and there shall be no DJs, musical bands, amplified speakers, or amplified instruments outdoors at any time or indoors after 10 p.m. The Julian Price House is located at 301 Fisher Park Circle. Additional standards for tourist homes and bed and breakfast can be found in the city's Land Development Ordinance. Today through Friday, December 6th, drivers will experience occasional lane closures due to sewer rehabilitation work. These closures are part of the North Buffalo Rehabilitation Project. The impacted roads with lane closures from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. are as follows. North Green Street northbound between Paisley and West Smith Streets, North Green Street southbound between Belmead and West Lindsay Street, North Green Street southbound between West Friendly Avenue and West Market Street, West Friendly Avenue westbound between North Green and North Edgeworth Streets, West Friendly Avenue westbound between Overlook Street and North Tremont Drive, West Market Street eastbound between Tate and Mendenhall Streets, North Eugene Street northbound between West Lindsay and West Smith Streets. The night lane closures from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. are as follows. South Edgeworth Street northbound between West Sycamore and West Market Streets, South Spring Street southbound between West Market and West Washington Streets, and South Green Street southbound between West Friendly Avenue and West Market Street. Directional signage and traffic cones will be in place, and motorists are encouraged to take alternate routes to avoid the area. Dates and times may change due to inclement weather or last-minute modifications in the work schedule. For more information, please visit the city's website. Greensboro Parks and Recreation has published its new magazine called Discover Greensboro. This is the department's guide to recreation programs, activities, special events, and parks facilities. The Winter-Spring 2020 issue, which covers January through May, is available online at gsoparksandrec.org. Residents may also pick up free copies at one of the following locations: Parks and Recreation Headquarters, City Recreation Centers and Library branches, Action Greensboro, Downtown Greensboro Incorporated, Greensboro Chamber of Commerce, Greensboro Children's Museum, Greensboro Convention and Visitors Bureau, Greensboro Cultural Center, Greensboro History Museum, and the Greensboro Science Center. A Spanish-language version of the magazine will also be available online, and a limited number of printed copies. Discover Greensboro will be printed 3 times a year. To become a Discover Greensboro advertising sponsor, please visit the city's website. In an effort to help each of us improve our quality of life, the city has partnered with Cone Health for a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Let's check in with our friends at Cone Health for today's News for Your Health.
It is estimated that 30 to 40% of children do not get enough sleep. Does your child get enough rest? So sleep is so important to health, whether you're 8 or 80 years old. It's a time for your body to restore and rebuild and for your brain to process all of the new information it's learned throughout the day. But it's even more important for children and teenagers because it has such a direct impact on their physical and mental development. According to the National Sleep Foundation, children between the ages of 1 to 2 need 11 to 14 hours of sleep throughout a 24-hour period. Ages 3 to 5 need 11 to 13 hours of sleep throughout a 24-hour period. School-age children between 6 and 13 need 9 to 11 hours of sleep at night. And teenagers between 14 and 17 years need 8 to 10 hours of sleep at night. But teenagers, when they hit puberty, it does affect their sleep-wake cycle, so it does make it harder for them to fall asleep in an earlier hour. So signs that your child may not be getting enough sleep: if they have hyperactivity, trouble focusing in school, a very difficult time waking them up in the mornings, or falling asleep at school. So what can we as parents do to ensure that our child gets a good night's rest? First, you need to make sleep a priority in your house. Educate your children on why sleep is important and why they need so much sleep, and be a good role model as a parent and let them see that sleep is a priority to you. Next, you need to be consistent. And need consistent bedtime and wake-up times, regardless whether it's a weekday, a weekend, or a school break. It's okay to occasionally let your child stay up later than normal or sleep in later than normal, but don't make this a habit, because this will make it harder for them to get back into the routine, and it may lead to sleep problems. They also need a consistent bedtime routine. For younger children, this could be taking a warm bath, reading them a book, having a few minutes of snuggle time. For older children and teenagers, it can be a hot shower, reading themselves a book, or listening to calming music. You do want to limit screen time and keep all electronic devices out of the bedroom. Electronic devices such as TVs, cell phones, laptops, tablets, all of these can seriously impact your child's ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. The lights and glow from these devices actually stimulate their brain. It can cause frequent awakenings throughout the night. Next, you need to limit their caffeine. Sodas, coffee drinks, energy drinks, all of these will stimulate the child and make it very hard for them to fall asleep. And you also need to be aware of chocolate, because it also has caffeine in it. Next, you need to get your child exercising. Anything to keep them active during the day will help them sleep better at night. And keep your child's bedroom comfortable. A cool temperature is an ideal sleeping environment. You might want to consider room darkening shades if there's outside light that interferes with their sleep. And a white noise machine can always be good to help drown out outside noise. When children get the recommended hours of sleep, it helps them focus better, whether it's a toddler learning how to walk or a teenager learning how to drive. Studies show that when children get the hours of sleep that they need, they're less likely to make unhealthy choices, they're less likely to have behavior problems, and teenagers are less likely to have car accidents. If you're still concerned about your child's sleep patterns, please consult your child's pediatrician or family physician. They may want to order a sleep study for your child at our sleep disorder center. Most sleep disorders can be easily diagnosed and treated. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found these tips helpful. For more information, go to conehealth.com/sleep. I'm Ginger Van Ness.
Women's basketball is returning to the Coliseum in the spring. Tickets are available now. We'll have that story and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. North Carolina Association of Public Safety Communicators, or APCO, has nominated Melanie Neal, the city's director of Guilford Metro 911, as its representative to the North Carolina 911 Board. The North Carolina APCO representative is appointed to the North Carolina 911 Board by the Speaker of the North Carolina House of Representatives upon the recommendation of the chapter. APCO's executive board reviews applications from a pool of highly qualified candidates. North Carolina APCO President Grayson Gusa said as North Carolina's next generation 911 system continues to evolve, Neil provides a unique depth of experience and expertise that will positively represent North Carolina APCO on the 911 board. Neil is a 31-year public safety veteran. She is a former North Carolina APCO president, a graduate of APCO International's Registered Public Safety Leader Program, and a graduate of the City of Greensboro's Leadership Edge program. Ms. Neil will officially be appointed later this year or in the first part of 2020. Once her appointment is confirmed by the General Assembly, Ms. Neil's term will end in December 2021. All session ticket books for the 2020 ACC Women's Basketball Tournament set for March 4th through March 8th at Greensboro Coliseum are currently on sale. All session ticket books, which include tickets for all 14 games of the 5-day tournament for $99, are available online through Ticketmaster and at the Greensboro Coliseum box office. The 2020 ACC Women's Basketball Tournament will mark the 20th year the Coliseum has played host to the event, the most of any venue. 6 ACC women's basketball teams ranked in last week's Associated Press Top 25 poll, the most of any conference. Louisville headlines the group at number 9, followed by number 12, Florida State, number 14, North Carolina State, number 15, Notre Dame, number 17, Miami, and number 20, Syracuse. For more information about ACC women's basketball, visit the website at acc.com or follow ACC Women's Basketball on Twitter at ACCWBB. Many of you are probably spending your weekends raking enormous piles of leaves so they can be hauled away. The first round of loose leaf collection service is available today through December 23rd. If your leaves aren't gathered before then, the trucks will make the rounds again from December 27th through January 25th. The city's website offers an interactive map that shows where each neighborhood falls on the collection schedule. Meantime, the city recommends the following tips for a successful loose leaf collection season. Rake leaves to the edge of your yard behind the curb, not in the street or on the sidewalk. Remove sticks, rocks, and other debris that may damage city equipment, and do not park vehicles on, in front of, or near the piles of leaves. The Yard Waste program accepts leaves throughout the year. Residents can place the leaves in clear plastic bags or in a plastic or metal garbage can and set them at the curb on regular trash collection days. The leaves are converted into compost to fertilize city gardens and landscaped areas. If the landscaped areas in your yard could also benefit from the compost, it sells for $20 per truckload at the White Street landfill located at 2503 White Street. In an effort to spotlight and celebrate local artists, business owners, community builders, and essentially the next generation of leaders, the city is proud to partner with Action Greensboro to introduce our Made in Greensboro series. This day, we place the spotlight on tennis professional Fred Robinson. As a tennis player, Fred Robinson has always known success. The accolades for the 67-time world and U.S. medalist run long and include Player of the Year in the Men's Open in North Carolina and Florida. Fred turned that expertise on the court into inspiration and a successful business, along with 2 other partners, Steve Earp and Tom Parker. Nearly a decade ago, though, while still playing, Fred noticed that standard compression gear designed for muscle and joint pain or injuries had little effect, was uncomfortable, and seemed to be well behind the advances of fabric science. That's when Fred decided if he wanted compression gear to work, he'd simply do it himself. He wanted the product to do 3 things: stretch, rebound, and stay in place. That led to the development of Body Helix's FormFit technology. Body Helix is now being recommended by doctors and rehab specialists, along with athletic trainers, physical therapists, massage therapists, occupational therapists, and chiropractors. To learn more about Made in Greensboro or to see more images taken by photographers Jerry Walford and Scott Mothersbaugh, visit the Action Greensboro website at madeingso.com. Construction is slated to begin in 2020 on the final stage of the downtown Greenway. Coming up after the break, we'll talk to the project manager about that and the Freedom Cornerstone project. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. In recent weeks, the city of Greensboro reached an agreement with Norfolk Southern to purchase the rights to install the downtown Greenway along the Atlantic and Yadkin Railroad corridor. Joining me now to tell us about the anticipated construction and other aspects of the project is Dabney Sanders. She is the project manager of the downtown Greenway. Hello, Dabney. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining me. Various phases of the downtown Greenway have been under construction for several years now. Tell me, where is the construction now?
Sure. Well, we have 1.5 miles of the downtown Greenway that is open to the public and is being well used. We have another 1.5 miles that's under construction now, and that section is along the eastern side of the 4-mile loop on Moreau Boulevard, extending from Gate City Boulevard, heading north, going underneath Summit Avenue, connecting up to Fisher Avenue, and then the end of that construction is at Green Street, where it'll connect with the current open section.
Okay, so when we call this the downtown Greenway, it truly is taking you through downtown.
Yes, it is defining our center city, kind of expanding people's perceived footprint of downtown. Yes. So it's a wonderful way to be able to define what we consider sort of the heart of our community here.
Wonderful. And speaking of the heart of our community, artists and just the whole art scene is very popular in Greensboro. You have an artist selection process. The community has been invited to be part of that discussion and meet the artists. So you have the Freedom Cornerstone. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me about that and what your plans are and the time frame?
Sure. So we have 4 major works of public art that we have identified to identify the 4 corners of this 4-mile loop, the downtown Greenway. And we've built 3 of those 4 cornerstones, and we are in the process of selecting the artist for the 4th cornerstone, which is down in the southeast corner at the intersection of Moreau Boulevard and Gate City Boulevard. We had a wonderful response to our call for artists for that. The theme of that is freedom. And so it's looking at certainly the role that Greensboro played with our local sit-in movement and the catalyzation of that and the national civil rights movement. But we're also thinking about what freedom means to people today. Yes. In a broader context. So we had a great response from artists who were interested in being considered for this. We had over 65 artists apply.
Wow.
We did Skype interviews with 11 of what we thought were the top candidates of those 65. And then narrowed that down to 4 artists who were our finalists. And those finalists have been coming to Greensboro over the last few weeks. And we do give the public an opportunity to meet them. The artists are presenting examples of their past work. They're talking about their philosophy of creating public art for a community, how they approach public engagement. We don't actually ask them to present a proposal to us because we want this piece to be very site-specific to what they learn in Greensboro. So our art selection panel will then take the community input. We send a survey out for people that have attended the meetings to give us their feedback. And we hope to make a decision the end of the first week of December about who we're going to offer the commission to.
That's exciting.
Which is very exciting.
Wow, that's a lot that you're cramming into a very short period of time to have 4 people coming into the community members being able to meet them, giving those artists a chance to really get the flavor and the feel of our city. I'm excited to see what they come back with and who you select.
Yes.
The biggest news, I would say, recently is this agreement that you were able to forge with Norfolk Southern Railroad, and how that is part of the, I guess, the dimensions of the Greenway. So what will that mean going forward?
Well, I would say this is the biggest news we've had in many, many years. The western side of the downtown Greenway, the final mile that we need to build, we've been working on the plans for that. We actually have the construction drawings ready for that. The sort of missing piece was that we had not reached an agreement with Norfolk Southern to allow us to build the Greenway on that rail line. Okay. And we've been working on it for quite some time. Some of our really dedicated community volunteers that have been involved in this project, Trip Brown in particular, the co-chair of our oversight committee, had a first meeting with Norfolk Southern about this in 2004.
Wow.
And our talks with them have been sort of on and off over the years, but got very intense the last year and a half or 2 years. And the city of Greensboro really was able to broker that negotiation to its successful conclusion. So we are already, now that that's in place, we are beginning to work on utility relocation, which is an important component in that process. As I said, we have the plans ready to go. We hope we will be under construction on that last mile of the 4-mile loop in May of 2020.
Okay, and once that construction starts, how long do you envision it taking to complete?
I'm guessing it's going to be about 12 months. We won't exactly know until we actually have put it out to bid and get a proposal back for that, but based on the other sections and the complexity of this section, it's a really exciting section because there's a stream, the College Branch stream, that runs through there. We have about 4 crossings where the railroad crossed the stream, so the Greenway will cross that stream. And so it's going to be, I think, a real eye-opener for people. It's an area of town that a lot of people have not had exposure to or access to because of the tracks going through there. Yeah. So I think it'll be about a 12-month process.
Okay, well that's exciting, and I'm so glad that the railroad sees the value in this and gave us that land. So you've been really working hard over several years to bring this downtown Greenway to fruition. Well, thank you, Dabney. I appreciate you taking time to stop by to share the plans for the artists and what that will mean, but also just overall to give us a sense of what we have in downtown in terms of this real jewel.
Yes, it's an amazing asset for the community, and people are already using these small disconnected sections, and we are excited to get the whole entire thing connected as the central hub of our whole system. We see that really having exponential effects on the community's enjoyment of it.
Wonderful. Well, do come back and let us know about Freedom Cornerstone and who you've selected and what will be going on with that.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned for a little-known fact about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The Greensboro City Council meetings are open to the public, but if you cannot make it to City Hall, we broadcast the meetings right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and Roku. City Council meetings take place on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The votes are in for Greensboro Participatory Budgeting Cycle 3. Nearly 4,000 residents voted. As a result, 16 projects and programs will be fully funded, and 4 additional projects will receive partial funding. Volunteer PB budget delegates and city staff evaluated the proposals to determine which projects to place on the ballots. The winning projects include a new bus stop, youth job skills training, a farmers market pilot program at Keeley Park, and playground upgrades. Residents in all 5 districts approved funding for the one citywide project on the ballot, which is a downtown weekend trolley pilot program. PB allows residents to decide how to spend up to $500,000 of the city's budget. This year, residents submitted more than 600 project ideas. Residents were allotted up to $100,000 to spend per city council district. In cases where there was not enough money to fund a full proposal, City staff evaluated whether the project could be partially completed with the remaining dollars. The projects with the most votes in each district will be included in the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget, which goes into effect on July 1st. Final vote totals and complete project descriptions are available on the city's website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight. But first, prepare to mark your calendar for all the great events happening this week on the town.
Hey, this is Taylor. It's Thanksgiving week, but there's still a lot going on around Greensboro, so let's get started. This weekend starts the Triad Stage's annual production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Come celebrate the season as Scrooge and the spirits are headed back for a holiday ghost story of hope and redemption. The show starts this Friday and runs through December 24th. Be sure to get your tickets at triadstage.com. If you are looking for that perfect gift this holiday season, why not head over to the Greensboro Coliseum this weekend for the Craftsman's Christmas Classic Arts and Crafts Festival. The festival features original designs and work from hundreds of talented artists and craftspeople from across America. There is something for every style, taste, and budget with items from the most traditional to the most contemporary. Visit GreensboroColiseum.com for more information. If you're looking to shop local, celebrate Small Business Saturday at the Greensboro Farmers Curb Market. Small Business Saturday is an American shopping holiday held on the Saturday after Thanksgiving during one of the busiest shopping periods of the year. You'll find locally made, expertly handcrafted holiday gift-giving solutions like stocking stuffers, jewelry, bath and body care, unique artisan items, gifts for kids, and for the person who has everything, food gifts make a nice gesture. For more information, visit gsofarmersmarket.org. Also on Saturday, head down to the Carolina Theater for a Motown Christmas featuring members of Motown's most legendary groups, The Temptations, The Miracles, and The Capitals. A Motown Christmas is a powerful family-oriented show combining Motown's greatest hits with everyone's favorite holiday classics. This show, beginning at 8 p.m., features famous Motown trademarks including dazzling choreography and unforgettable harmonies, all performed in that memorable, soulful Motown style. Be sure to get your tickets now at carolinatheater.com. Beginning this Monday, join the Greensboro Science Center for Magical Mondays. Enjoy complimentary hot cocoa and cookies, listen to holiday stories with Wonderland Bookshop, create Christmas-inspired crafts, discover the science of the season with Miss Claus, and be sure to bring your camera to meet Santa. The event begins at 5:30 p.m. and happens every Monday through December 16th. For more information, visit greensboroscience.org. Keep watching FYI Weekly right here on GTN and have a safe Thanksgiving weekend.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. In an effort to engage residents on most forms of media, the Greensboro Television Network, or GTN, is now available on the Roku streaming platform. With so many people no longer subscribing to cable service, this allows residents to watch a live stream of GTN at their leisure. Roku is currently the #1 streaming platform in the U.S. with more than 30 million active accounts. This provides the city a broader reach to connect with more Greensboro residents. GTN, founded in 1995, is Greensboro's official government TV channel dedicated to providing city government and community information. The channel operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with original programs, live city council and zoning meetings, and information about city events. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO Shoutout. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout-out. This week's shout-out goes to the city's Toastmasters Club. The group has been recognized by Toastmasters International for the second year in a row as a distinguished club. Talk of the Town Toastmasters earned the Distinguished Club credentials by meeting at least 10 goals grouped in 4 areas. Membership with a requirement of at least 4 members, education with a minimum of 2 members completing levels of pathways, training with a minimum of 4 club members attending Toastmasters Leadership International training, and administrative when members pay membership renewal dues on time. Talk of the Town Toastmasters was chartered in 2017 as a professional development track available through the city's Human Resources Department. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro. And now GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.